This needs to stop. This is cancer.
Face me. Give in to your pride.
So once upon a time, I may or may not have said, probably about a good solid 2 weeks ago or something, I quite like the zoo format. Quite like the format. It's fun. It's very skill based, very grindy, very back and forth, very voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir kind of thing. And then I watched the ARG this weekend, and I noticed that the new fusion substitute combo with Lunalight, Black Sheep, and stuff like that. That's not just a quirky little tech thing that someone played at Atlanta. It's become a bit of a staple in the deck. What does that contribute to? Well, what that does is that it lets you draw 3 cards going first off of 1 card. So you make 1 rat, and that ends with a draw from Emerald, a draw from the second Emerald, a draw from Fusion Substitute, a Trident, and back row. Or a hand trap, depending on what you drew. So, that is, like I kind of said earlier,
this is cancer.
That's really fucking hard to play through going second for any deck ever. Being able to draw into your strike or your barrier, that enough in itself can just end the game, but then when you have the added pressure of maybe a Maxi in hand or a Ghost Ogre or a DD Crow, you kind of can't play through that. Now, for those of you who watched the ARG final, it was one of the most uninteractive games of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have ever watched in my entire life. Anyone could have played that game. It really could have just ended the same way for anyone competent, and anyone in that top 16 could have easily have won that whole event based off of nothing than just, let me go first, let me do my combo, let me set 4, let me pass to you, and come at me, bro. I mean, you just cannot play through those boards. I mean, the ideal hand is like TERRORTOP Rat, and then the 3 other cards can be literally anything, preferably traps and disruption. But even if it's not, you're drawing 3 new cards, you're very likely to draw into strike, barrier, or a hand trap to just completely shut down your opponent and say, hey, you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. Now, you see, at the kind of beginning, sort of, it was kind of a good format because of the fact that it felt a bit slower, even though it kind of wasn't. We still have the exact same cards as we did back then, but something about just going first and then not completely obliterating like your opponent through draw power felt a little bit more fair. Being able to go second, you probably get stopped, but you can set your own traps and then protect yourself. Now, you can try play, and then you're probably going to get twisted. You're just going to get overwhelmed by sheer card advantage. It doesn't matter if you have some real traps going second and you set them for your opponent's second turn. You're very likely to just completely be blown up because of the card advantage. I mean, cards mean something. I understand that 1 card makes +4 this format, so resources aren't as relevant as they have been in the past. But just being able to set traps and then still just lose to like the single, like 1 rat is just bananas. It really is bananas. Now, Zoo, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Zoo doesn't really sort of win with its engine, if you know what I mean. This is going to be something very controversial. I'm going to get a shitload of dislikes for it. I feel like Zoo is good because of what it gets you to. Do you know what I mean? Let's think of, for example, Pot of Greed. That card is really only as good as what it draws. So Zoo at the same time is a very small engine, but it's only as good as what you're getting off of your Emerald, what your starting hand is, and just, you know, what you've actually done with the 1 card. It really just ends with a draw and a Trident pop for the default combo without the fusion substitute. That's not very strong in like a vacuum. It just happens to be very good because you have so much other stuff you can play in your deck to complement that. I know I'm sure a lot of you guys will say like, oh, Zoo, it goes like +3 off 1 card, but at the same time it's like you end with a draw and a pop. Really, that's really all you're ending with. But because of just how much this 1 card does, it makes it just so hard to play through for any deck going second, especially now with the Lunalight combo being a staple. It's just bizarre how this is like okay now. And I don't really know what to like maybe hit on a ban list, because I feel like I kind of don't want this deck to go. I would like the things that it sort of gets to maybe to go. I would like D-Barrier banned. I would like Norden banned. And I would like perhaps TERRORTOP limited as well. That would maybe cripple the consistency, but again, there's one route to go down. You can either go down the consistency route or the power route. If we cripple a deck's consistency, it hasn't lost any power, it just doesn't do it as often. But if you cripple its power, it's now consistently less powerful, which I guess you could say is fair. So maybe that's the best way to hit it. Get rid of, just ban TERRORTOP maybe altogether, because ending with like Totem Bird plus a rat summon is very good. Being able to just spit out an extra free monster on board for no reason other than the fact you've opened TERRORTOP instead of rat, that's a little bit much as well. And for Norden, I don't need to explain Norden. Norden has always been something a bit of a degeneracy, let's be honest. It's just a 1-card rank 4, 1-card top deck, something that should probably be dealt with in the shape of instant fusion maybe, but preferably Norden, let's be real. Norden is kind of the problem right now. Luna Light combo is super stupid. But yeah, hopefully people start to realize that we can easily stop this combo just by holding our Maxi for the polymerization, a fusion substitute, or we can hold our Ghost Ogre for the Norden effect, or I'm sure there's a bit you can do before that, but I think Norden effect is probably the best time, because then they just end with Trident and like, that's it. But yeah, there's ways to play around this combo, but I feel like this specifically has contributed to just degeneracy, just very stupid gameplay we've seen in like the recent month. It's been really powerful, but like again, it's very strange because I don't know if you guys agree. Please tell me if you don't or you do. It feels like Zoo doesn't do anything unfair. It's like realistically, 1 card gets you a pop and a draw off of 1 card, but at the same time you have these powerful game-destroying traps, turn-ending traps like D-Barrier, but then again, you kind of think to yourself, well, every deck can do that, so Zoo's not unique that way, so how come Zoo's doing so much better? It's strange, it is. It's like, just going first, being able to just put back your resources into the deck, and then you can do it again next turn. I think that's obviously what's very strong, so what could they do? Could they just limit each of the XYZs? Could they semi-rat? Realistically, if they semi-rat, the deck's fucked. Like, there's no more Zoo. Like, you can't play it with any less than 3, because that's what gives you the second rank 4. That's what gives you the Emerald. That's what gives you the recycling. If you don't have the recycling anymore, then, well, you're stuck with the floater on board. Not even a floater, just the guy, just chilling. Now, to sort of summarize, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, sort of hell-bent on making this deck stay around. I feel like Tier 0 formats sometimes can be quite fun, can be quite good, like Necros format, fairly decent of a Tier 0 format. The better player can sometimes win. Not something that's extremely dependent on the dice roll, but this format has just been such a mess of explosive plays and just degeneracy and ignorance with like D-Barrier, and even just 1 strike can just completely shut down a game. I don't know, do these traps need to hit? I feel like traps are something that maybe shouldn't be hit because trap decks sort of suck, but when pure Zoo is taking these traps and just drawing into them for +3 then it's a bit much. It's a bit much, let's say that. It's really not fair. It's really, like, just being able to just set up a decent board. It's not particularly scary. I'm sure double Dracosac was, even fucking Unicorn just sitting chilling, or Winda, or double Dante. That shit was scarier than Zoo. But because of the fact that back then you're not drawing into, like, D-Barrier, which is literally Upstart Goblin, shoutouts to Ryan, it's ends your opponent's turn, and the strike as well is something that completely destroy a Pendulum deck. It can end the Zoo Mirror turn because they have 1 rank 4 play and you just strike it and they can't play, or you strike the Trident and they can't go into it anymore for that turn. So a whole lot of different avenues we can take with this deck. There's a whole lot of shit that we can do to fix it. What do we do to fix it? Well, clearly it needs hit on the ban list. If you took anything away from this video, let it be known that I done fucked up. I was probably wrong about this format being fun. Not having fun anymore. Fun isn't happening anymore. There is no more fun. Please, everyone, evacuate the building. Fun has gone. Fun is leaving. Everyone out, please. No more fun. It's gone. Fun's gone. That's how I feel like this format's turned out. There's just it was cool to begin with. It's nice to see how the meta grew. Now the meta's grown. It's a big boy, and he's an asshole. Yeah. He's a fucking dick. I hate him. So if you've watched this far, give me hashtag big boy in the comment section so I know that you've listened to this rambling for that long. And yeah, hopefully something will be done about this stupid deck soon. Oh, by the way, 97% zoo in OCG. Great times, eh? Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.